Okay, so let's start. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so please lead us a prayer. Jana. Stand and lead us a prayer.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and give us, Lord, that we do my Lord, do out from the happy knowledge that we have the happy upon us at the same time.
Okay, so our lesson for today will be tenses. Okay, so do you have any idea what tenses are? Past tense, present tense, future tense, something like that. So, first, let's play a game. I want you to write as much as verb.
Verb, ma'am.
Yes, within 30 seconds.
Verb.
Okay? So you will write verbs within 30 seconds. The more you write, the more points you will get. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so pens up. How many did you write, Princess?
2, 6, 8, 9,
9. What about you, Jana? How many did you get?
8.
8. Okay, so Princess, you got 9 points and Jana got 8 points. Okay. So now, I want you to classify the verbs that you have written by past, present, and future. So you will write if it's a past tense. Try to write if it's a past tense and then present or future tense. Past tense, ito yung ginawa na. And then present, it's ginagawa pa lamang. And the future tense is gagawin pa lamang. So you classify the verbs that you have written by those 3 pasts.
Fasting ay gagawin pa lang.
Past is ginawa na, tapos na. And the present, ginagawa pa lamang. And the future tense is gagawin pa lang. Okay? So, classify your verbs into 3.
Ano isulat mo past tense or present? Kasi ma'am?
You write it if it's past tense, a future tense, a present tense. Okay, we record the first activity. This is lesson number 8. Our 18th lesson. Jana got
Past tense. Fasting.
Mga di ginawa na tangal daw dyan? Ginawa, ginaramid ka tangal daw? Kasi,
Past tense, nagawa na, tapos na. Kumbaga, inaramid yan. And then, the present tense, ginagawa pa lamang, aramidin na kaila. Tapos, future tense is, tapos, ay gagawin pa lamang. Okay, so are you done? Let's hear first from Jana. What is your verb, and then tell me what do you think is the tense?
Dancing, the tense is present.
Yes.
Playing, the tense is past tense.
play. Okay, so Lucy.
Sing, past tense. Walk, past tense. Sit, past tense.
Yung walk mo may ed ba yun? Wala.
Walk lang.
So that would be a present tense. Next.
Writing, present.
Yes, present.
Talking, present.
Yes, present.
Reading, present.
Very good. What about you, princess?
Walk, present.
Present or future? Yeah. Let's go.
Clean, past tense. Walk, past tense. Jump, past tense. Drink, past tense. Eat, past tense. Sing, future tense. Write, present. Shake, past tense. Drop, past tense.
Okay, so we'll see about that. Please keep that and we will check that after our last discussion. Okay? So our lesson for today is tenses. First things first, tense is, please read.
The time that a verb shows is called tense.
Okay, so it is the time the verb shows. So I have I told you the three types of tenses. The first one is
Past tense. It
Okay.
already happened.
it already happened. So tapos na, nagawa na. So example,
Yesterday, I
I
played
played outside.
okay. So yesterday, ibig sabihin kahapon, I played outside. Next tense. What is it
Present tense, it is happening right now.
Mhm. It is
Happening
happening.
right now.
An
Ginagawa.
example.
I play outside.
Okay, so I play outside. Next, the future tense.
Future tense. It
Has yet to happen.
Hindi pa nangyayari. So example of it is
Tomorrow, I will play outside.
tomorrow I will play
Play
outside.
outside.
So as you can see, I have one sentence, but I used it by past tense,
Past tense.
present, and future tense. I only had the thought I play. Play. I have the verb play. In the first sentence or in the first tense, the past tense, I use play.
Play.
In the present tense, I still use play. And the last is I still use the verb play. Okay. So, do you notice that in the past tense, I changed the word or I added something in the verb? It is ed. Okay. So, in the present tense, I did not add anything. It's still the verb play. And also in the future tense. But I use the word
I will.
will. Okay? So when it comes to past tense, we usually, please read.
We usually make the past tense by adding D or ED
To the
to
verb
root
word.
word. Example, Hannah talked to her friend.
Okay. So in the past tense, we add D or ED. Meron tayong D or ED. That makes the word a past tense. Or the verb a past tense. So some, please read.
Some verbs have irregular past tense.
Example,
Example, Hannah told him about her friend.
we do
About
not
her holiday.
about her holiday. We
Okay.
do not add D or ED to the irregular past tense verb,
Yeah.
but change the spelling till becomes
told. Do
not.
not tell.
Okay. So, if you can see the tell, yung tell dito, ito yung present tense ng told, di ba? So, hindi naman pwedeng nadagdagan mo ng ed yung tell. Pakibasa ulit yun. Telled. Telled, ano? Ang pangit linggin. So, it is called an irregular verb. Hindi mo dinagdagan ng ed, but he or she changed the spelling. Okay? So, yung E ay yung E tapos LL naging OLD. Okay? So there are some verbs that do not add D or ED, but you will change its spelling. For example, you use the word teach. Meron bang word na teach with ED pa? No. So, it uses the word taught. I taught. Pag past tense na. I think I taught. Okay? So, next.
We also
So
make
may
the past tense by using the verb to be and add
E.
Okay. So, there is also the to be and then add the ing word. So, she was walking. Okay? So, when it comes to past tense, marami tayong pwedeng gawin. We can add D or ED. There is also the irregular verbs, changing spelling. And there is also the ing, which is called the gerund. But we will tackle that on the next lessons. But there is need to be. So when it comes to past tense, when you are going to use ing in your verb, you will use was or were. Alam nyo ba yung past tense ng is at saka are? It is was and were. Okay? Were spelled as W-E-R-E. Okay. So, that is a past tense. Give me an example of a sentence using a past tense. Princess. Past tense of a verb. Ay, sentence.
is again.
Is, so when you are going to use is in a past tense, you are going to use was. Kasi past tense ng is yan. Was. Ibig sabihin tapos na. So please, give me a sentence. Let's start with using D or ED. Give me a verb with a D or ED.
Walk.
Walked. Okay. So use that in a sentence. Yes, I walked quietly. That's good. Next. Something with irregular verb. Ano sa tingin niya? Yung mga verb na nagbabago ang spelling kapag naging past tense. Give an example. Drink. What is the past tense of drink?
Drunk.
Yes, that is drunk. D-R, what?
D-R-U-N-K-E-D.
D-R-U, it means you are drunk by liquor. D-R-A, it means you drank water or any liquid. Okay? Please keep that in mind. Baka gamitin niyo yung D-R-U-A. I drank 1,000 anong mamaya. Ay, nalasing ka, nagaroon na ako nada. So, when it comes to using irregular verbs, there are changes in the spelling. Lastly, the use of ing. Give me an example.
Teaching.
Teaching. So, use that in a sentence. Past tense.
My teacher is teaching.
Your teacher is teaching. That is a present tense. No? Make use of is as was. Like, change your sentence. Gamitin mo yung was instead of is.
Was tapos
My
na.
teacher was teaching.
Yes, that is a past tense. Okay? So when you use is or were, it will become was. Was or were. Like is or are. It will become was or were when it comes to past tense. Okay, next. Here are examples of regular verbs. Walk.
Walk. I walk. I
walk.
I will walk.
Okay.
Walk
So
plus-
there is past tense, present tense, and then the future tense. Okay?
Walk
Plus
plus
to
to
be.
be. I was walking. I am walking. I will walk.
Okay. So to be, it means yung Ito, mga was, tapos
will.
yung will. Okay? So, please keep in mind, hindi ko ba naisulat yun dito? When it comes to past tense, you will use the word was or were. When it comes to present tense, you are going to use and then in the future tense, you are going to use will. Okay? Next.
Help. I help. I help. I will help.
Okay, so it did not change. You see? It just added something will in the future tense. Next.
Learn.
Learn. I
I
learn.
I learn.
I will learn.
Learn. Okay. So lastly,
I was learning. I am learning. I will learn.
okay, so when you start using ing, you will add the words was or were, and then will. Okay? Do you get it? Next. So we have now the irregular verbs. Kung kanina gumamit tayo ng regular verbs, the work, walk, help, and learn. Next, we are going to use irregular verbs. These are verbs that changes in spelling. Okay? So first, please read.
Write. I wrote. I
I
write.
will write. I shall
shall
learn.
I shall write. Okay. So it did not change here, but as you can see in the past tense, it uses it changed the spelling. I wrote. So tapos na. Next.
Write plus to be. They were writing. They are writing. They will write.
Okay. So there it is. When you use ing, there is were, there is are, and it is will. Okay? Next.
Grow.
Grow.
It grew.
It grows.
It
will
grows.
grow.
It will grow.
Okay. Next.
Teach.
She
taught.
She teaches. She will teach.
Okay, so that is the example I have given you a while back. Taught. Pag teach, ang past tense ng teach is taught. Ang past tense ng grow is grew. Hindi growed. Okay? Yung write, hindi rin write with D. Okay? So it's wrote. Next.
Teach plus to be. We
We
were
are
teaching. We are teaching. We shall teach.
Okay, so it did not change, but it added something. Were,
Are,
are, and shall. Okay. So when it comes to future tense and you are using irregular verbs, it will become shall, not will. Especially in ing, I mean. Okay, next.
Think.
He
thought. He thinks. He will think.
Okay. So yung thought natin na teach is iba ang spelling, okay? And then think is thought too. Thought din ang pronunciation, pero iba yung spelling niya. Okay? Please keep that in mind. So, think, meron siyang H, thought, O-U-G-H-T. And then teach, wala siyang H sa tabi. So, it's U-G-H-T. Okay? So, please keep in mind the differences between regular and irregular verbs. And another. There are also irregular verbs that do not change in spelling. Wala kang pwedeng idagdag, wala kang pwedeng baguhin. Okay? So, there are irregular verbs like this. First one, cost. So, I cost, I shall cost. It did not change anything, okay, in the spelling. But its usage, it is used differently. Next, hit. Please read.
Hit. They were hitting. They are hitting. We will hit.
They will hit. Okay, so it still uses the word hit without changing its spelling. Okay, next.
Read.
It reads.
It reads. It reads. It will read.
It will read. Okay. Next.
Put. We were putting. We are putting. We should put.
Okay, next.
Shut.
He shut. He shuts. He will shut.
Okay. So, there are irregular verbs that do not change in spelling. So, there are two types of irregular verbs. irregular verbs that changes in spelling and the irregular verbs that do not change in spelling. Okay? Right. So, generalization. What did you understand in our lesson?
About
Teach
tenses.
about tenses.
Okay, so what are the 3 types of tenses?
Past tense, present tense, and future tense.
Okay, so that is the past tense, present, and the future tense. In the past tense, we have how many types with using verbs? We have the adding.
Regular
Yes, we have the irregular verbs.
and regular.
Irregular.
Irregular and regular
Regular.
verbs. So in the regular verbs, you can use be or
ED.
ed. Okay. In irregular verbs,
To be.
to be, ano ba?
In. Also.
Okay, so in the past tense, you can use to be and then add ing. To be is was, were, ganon, am, and will or shall. Okay? The regular verbs can also have 2 types of verbs. What are those? The one that do not change spelling and the one that changes in spelling. Okay. So, for group activity, mag-draw tayo ng pilihan kung anong group yung gagawin.
Ikaw, man.
Group
Again.
activity.
Yan, yan. Madinaan ko, kwan, agad.
Naka-online tayo. Okay, so let's have group 1 and group 2 and group 3. Okay, so you choose.
Group 3.
Group 3. Okay, what about you, Jana?
Group 2.
Group 2. So, first,
Using the
group 2.
Make a sentence using the past tense of the verb given.
Okay, so you are going to use the verb into a past tense. What about you, Princess?
Make a sentence using the future tense of the verb given.
Okay, so you are going to use the future tense. And for the group 1, since kulang tayo, you can use
Mamuan ni Jana.
1? Ay, okay. Kala ko group 2. Okay, group 1.
Make a sentence using the present tense of the verb
Okay, so you are going to use it
Kung ano to, ay.
in a present tense. So are you ready?
Yes.
Bring out your papers.
Yeah.
Answer your sheet. You can make use of half a sheet of
Mama no. Mama no pero hindi ko yes.
15 yata.
50?
So I will give you 30 seconds each,
Lagi mo yan.
each item.
Ano ba?
Ayun.
Pilitan.
Parang wala. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute to compose a sentence each before we proceed to our next.
Agaramit kami tipan. Ay.
So you will
1,
use
2.
present tense. You will use it in present tense. And si Princess gagawin din niya ang future tense. Then,
Present tense.
number 1. Use the verb in sentence. Came.
Okay.
I will came.
Ano ang verb sa future tense ng came?
I will came.
Come.
Ah?
Come.
Ay?
Present di kanina. Ay, present.
I will come.
Present tense.
Sentence ma'am per each.
Yes. 1 minute starts.
Ang lang yung came.
Simple sentences will do. Kahit kagaya ng mga examples ko
Kung
kanina.
I will came sila, or can find him.
Use it in a future tense. Hindi, came is past tense. Right?
I will come. I will.
Present sa'yo, diba?
I come. I came.
You add the verb to be, and then... Okay, next verb. Run. Okay. Future, and then present. Run.
I will run.
Mhm. Ikaw ba?
I run. No, I run.
I am.
I am running. Mga di lang kasi isot or nagdagan pa kayo.
Sentence na yan. Period.
Pwede yun.
Next. Swim.
Bakal mo.
Swim. Use the verb swim in a sentence. Kaya nga ako ng cellphone, pang time mo.
Ako din yan.
Hindi ko naman nananggit lang mga siya. Para makita mo lang.
Nang basta.
30 seconds.
May stopwatch. Ang galing.
Pwede, pero mas okay. Okay. 30 seconds. Next. Sing.
So, I will song. Three, two, one.
Next word na feel. So, please observe your grammar since pagdating sa mga tenses, grammar is very important. Pag nagkamali ka ng gamit dun sa sentence, ay di mo sakit mo.
Ano siya kung ano sa akin?
Okay, next word. Make. Past tense ng make is I made it. I made a bag.
Past tense.
Well, kayo present.
Make more.
Okay, next word. Here.
I will hear.
So, I heard ng past tense ng here. I heard that the dog died yesterday.
Ang mas dyan?
Hmm?
Braen?
Pwede ka, no?
Ano yun?
Okay, next na. saw. I saw 10,000 miles of water. Next, go. Past tense ng go, I went. I went to Amsterdam. Eleven, 10, 9. Next, smell. Nung bastos lang smell. I small. So, I smelled. I smell you. Next, taste. Taste. I tasted the bread and it's spoiled. Next word na. Okay, next word, cook. So, I cook.